Blog Talk Radio.
The other day I was looking on our Facebook page. For those of you that haven't yet made it to our Facebook page, you can find the Facebook page at E as in Edward, Z as in Zebra, .com / TAFB group. That's our Facebook page. I was on the Facebook page the other day and somebody was talking about the radio show. There was some clamoring going on. People had some questions. And somebody said, hey, just go over to the radio show. It starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. And this person was on Facebook, and they were like, kind of like a nervous Nelly. They said, I'm there, all I can hear is music. I only hear music. Well, that's what I call somebody like really, really excited, because normally I get by the music within 30 seconds. Today I let it play for a full minute, though, because I just love that music, right? That's our theme music. As a matter of fact, when you come to one of our live events, that's what you're going to hear. Okay, that's like, okay, come to order, everyone. You'll hear that music, and you'll see some of our leaders come out onto the stage dancing, and we'll encourage all of you guys to stand up in your chairs dancing. That's our music. And good morning. I do want to welcome you, and a couple things are coming up for me right away before I get into my normal routine. Did you know that we have a birthday today? This is something that blew my mind this morning. I was doing just a little bit of research this morning. And I think about, where we are in the process. And I think about how fast things really move. I had a delightful conversation last night with Adam Whiting, one of the primary architects of our program here. And we were just talking about how far we've come just in 30 days. In the last 30 days, really, it has just been an amazing quantum leap, right? Project was in, research and development, and Greg and Doug and Chad have been working together for, many, many years. And I've known these guys myself for over 20 years. I met Greg years and years ago in our industry, in direct selling, top tier. He's been a lead generation guy all that time. And it's interesting because, we've known each other, we've worked together, and then this thing that used to be called ILS in the beta stage, and that was last October it launched, and then went through some growing pains there. And then Adam and his team arrived at the table, and he told me they'd been working behind the scenes with Greg, and Doug covertly. They've been working and strategizing for many, many months. And then it was like, okay, well, we have to really do this now. We have to come out of the gate. We've got all of these pieces. Let's put them together, and let's just go to work. And that was just a little over a month ago. And it's amazing in the last month, this quantum leap that we have experienced. I mean, if you think about it, right, we went into the pre-launch. If you guys remember, there was just a pre-launch opt-in page. Everyone had one. They were for free. There was you can get a free membership. And if you remember, then we opened up the door for people to go from being free members to paying members. And everything was coming on fast. The radio show started taking shape. And I was looking this morning, I think we've had, I want to say the number is somewhere in the neighborhood of 14,000 of you have listened to the radio show in the last 30 days. It's pretty exciting. And you look at the Facebook page, right? There's 17,000 plus people there right now on the Facebook page. And it's amazing, right? All of this has happened in the last 30 days. Traffic just went live a couple days ago. People are making money. The e-wallet came up just last week. Over the weekend, people were getting paid. People are getting funded. Pretty amazing, huh? How things just They take a little time, they take a little time, they take a little time, and before you know it, there's like a quantum leap, right? It goes like there's a quantum leap, right? And the reason I bring this up is like I'm saying happy birthday today to Google. Google.com is 18 years old today. 18 years ago, it was in the year 1997, way back when. Some of you weren't even born yet, probably. But did you know that it was only 1997 that Google.com was registered as a domain? And now look at what has happened in the last 8. Somebody said to me not long ago that in the history of the world, all of the data that was collected in the history of the world, like up through the year 2005 or something. I mean, somebody told me this thing. It was like, in the last 4 years, we have, we've added more information than was collected in the entire history of man, right? Thanks to things like Google. And the reason I bring this up to you guys is because sometimes in our process here, for my own experience as an internet marketer, I'm an old school guy. As a matter of fact, if you would like to see me, you can see me tonight on our webinar at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be hosting our webinar. If you'd like to go register for the webinar, you can register for the webinar at trafficweblive.net. Trafficweblive.net. Invite people. We're going to be tonight. It's like, hey, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? If you go register for the webinar, you'll see. And for those of you who wonder what that's from, that's a movie called Taxi Driver. Robert De Niro, remember? Are you talking to me? So if you go to the register tonight, you can come tonight and you can talk. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight. We're going to do some walkthrough. We're going to open up the chat, answer a few questions as we can manage along the way. But my point of this is, sometimes we make a quantum leap in our experience. Let's say for me as an internet marketer, I'm an old school marketer. It is a matter of fact, okay? It's a matter of fact that I personally generated my first 7 figures before the internet, before Google.com was registered. For real, man. Back in the day, we were operating on presentation calls, running newspaper ads in places like USA Today to generate leads. That's where we generated leads, was in, postcards and advertisements in newspapers across the nation. And people would call an 800 number and they would listen to a 2-minute sizzle pitch. And if they liked what they heard, they'd leave their name and phone number. They would request a call back. That's where I kind of honed my skills as a phone jockey, calling people back and interviewing them and then inviting them to hear a 30, 45-minute presentation call. And then at the end, we just rate people on a scale of 1 to 10. Where are you? Are you in or out? Made 7 figures before the internet. So I'm like an old dog, right? I'm old school, man. But then all of a sudden, stuff starts changing and stuff starts moving quickly. And I know for many of us right here, right now, I know for many of our audience, many of our members in Traffic Authority, I know a lot of us are excited. We are eager. We want it to happen now, right? I'm so impressed. I really am so impressed with the quality and the quantity of individuals who join us every single day, who are looking for a solution, who are begging for a solution, who are willing to do the work to arrive at their goal. I just want to caution you that, however, sometimes it's going to take some time. As long as you stay in it, as long as you stay consistent, as long as you continue to apply yourself, as long as you show up, it will continue to grow. And then suddenly there will be like this quantum leap. All of a sudden your business is cranking, leads are pouring in, money is coming in, and you're like, "Woo, where were you?" I've been here, working and working at this and listening to Joe and listening to Greg and listening, and listening to Doug and doing what I'm told to do, and I'm on the Facebook page, and it will come, it will happen, a quantum leap. Okay, do you really believe that in 1997, when they registered the domain, could you have ever imagined that in 18 years from that day, Google would be the dominant force in the world? Like if I've got to make a grilled cheese sandwich, I look it up on Google. If I want to know, Google is it's changed everything, right? It is Big Brother, And I won't even go into that discussion, but my point is that could they have imagined And so what I want you to do is just continue to imagine your life as a member of our organization. And sometimes it takes a quantum leap, right? And what will happen for you is you will stay here. You'll continue to apply yourself. Yes, you will commit to some traffic. Yes, you will follow up. And then all of a sudden, boom, whoa, it explodes in your face and you have a thriving business. So I want you guys just to, some of you to simmer down. We're going to get to some questions here. I know there's a bunch of you guys already in the queue. I see a bunch of you guys are here already. And we're going to get to every one of you who has a question. We're going to get to you. But before I get to the questions, I'm going to give you guys a couple of ground rules. Stick around. As a matter of fact, I'll get to the ground rules in a minute. Okay, give me a minute. I'm going to get there in a minute. The other thing I want to also say about this Google, happy birthday to Google, 18 years ago today, the domain was registered. I wonder how long it actually took them to get, was Google built in a day? No, it's still being perfected. It is still being perfected. Was Traffic Authority built in a day? No, and it's still being perfected. And we're getting really, really good at the things that we do here in Traffic Authority. But here's something else I just want to put into your imagination for you baby boomers. Just for you baby. Everybody else you can just check out for a second. Baby boomers. I found this pretty weird. On the same day of the September 15th, it wasn't the same year, but Green Acres and Lost in Space came on TV. And that was in the same year. Could you imagine on September 15th, you flip on the TV, Green Acres, remember? Leisha, farm living is the life for me. And then of course, there was Lost in Space. In 1965, that was. I was a really little boy. All right, one last thing I want to put out here, right? Before we get into our questions and answers, and I'm going to tell you what the rules are for Q&A in a moment. And I just wanted to read, one of the books that we talk about here, one of the books that we give away is How Rich People Think by Steve Siebold. That's the name of the author, How Rich People Think. And Steve Siebold is a guy who went out there and he spent a quarter of a century, dig that, right, 25 years interviewing millionaires, all right? And he wrote this thing in a very authentic way. I think there's 100 chapters in this book, and there is not one chapter that's more than a page and a half. So these are just little things that I want you to – I'd like you to get a copy of this book if you don't have one. Eventually you will get one if you keep showing up because we have contests and stuff, and this is the kind of stuff we give away in our contest. But I just wanted to let you guys know what Steve Siebold, the guy who spent 25 years interviewing millionaires, says about you, each and every one of you, everyone who's listening to me right now. This is what he says about me, about all of us, because we are networkers, okay? We are networkers. We are in the business of direct selling, network marketing, many of us multi-level marketing. But the thing about networkers, I want to just put this out there. You always return the call, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a networker, you always return the call. The reason I'm here today is because Greg Chambers remembered my birthday because he and I are buddies on Skype. And on my birthday last December, I get this Skype message from Greg Chambers says, "Hey man, I haven't talked to you in years. Happy birthday." And now here it is, September 15th. And here I am hosting webinars and, involved here and making money and, doing radio shows. We're networkers. Always return the call when somebody reaches out to you. But let me share with you, and then we're going to get to the Q&A. And I'm going to tell you what this is really about at the end of what I'm going to read to you right now. The reason I'm sharing this stuff with you, the way I'm handling myself right now. There's a method to what I'm doing right now. But this is chapter number 17 of How Rich People Think. Now, in this book, he refers to everyday people as the middle class, and then he refers to we, because we know how rich people think, and that's how we think. So he refers to each and every one of us as the world class. So when you go through the book, that's how it's separated. And this is the chapter. It says, middle class underestimates the wealth-building power of referral marketing. World class knows referral marketing creates millionaires. That's what we do. Ask Vincent Ortega Jr. The dude banked $150,000 in 30 days. Dig that. And it wasn't luck. He's not a lucky man. He's just a busy man. He spends his time doing things that produce results. But here's what this guy says. He says the masses have been ridiculing and criticizing referral marketers for over 50 years. Meanwhile, and here I'm talking about you right now, meanwhile, these highly trained, ferociously dedicated army of entrepreneurs have amassed billions in collective wealth. Their industry includes network, multi-level marketing, direct sales, party event marketing, affiliate programs, and others. Referral marketers don't have fancy titles or corner offices. Some have master's degrees and PhDs, and others are high school dropouts. Their backgrounds span the spectrum and have few common denominators, save one: heart. You don't have to have an Ivy League education or $1 million portfolio to be successful in referral marketing, but you do have to have the heart of a lion. Now, he goes on to say that he's delivered speeches on mental toughness to some of the most prestigious audiences in the world. He said, I've served on boards and committees with executives, movie stars, and even the President of the United States. I have interviewed hundreds of the wealthiest people in the world. After all this experience with an exposure to some of the best and brightest society has to offer, I can state emphatically, he's talking about you here, that referral marketers are the most mentally tough business people on the planet. I've had tens of thousands of them in my audiences, and I've come to respect this group of freedom fighters like no other. Here, he's talking about you, okay? Right now, this is what he says. When it comes to mental toughness, they are in a league of their own. They start their own businesses with a few bucks in their pocket and a dream in their heart. Most start out part-time while still employed and burn the candle at both ends, kicking, scratching, and fighting for their freedom. He's talking about us here, okay? Dig this. We are often jeered, scorned, and criticized by the masses. Yet, we keep moving forward boldly and fearlessly like a locomotive thundering down the track. You can mentally beat them, kick them, and discourage them, and they just keep coming back for more. It is easy to ridicule someone chasing success who has not made it yet, and that's what the masses do. The irony is the general public's rejection of referral marketers is what eventually makes us so mentally tough. By the time we've been rejected 1,000 times, it no longer matters. The emotional pain we experience in the early days of recruiting and selling is replaced by the realization that our ability to get rejected and persist is the reason we are able to earn millions of dollars. I can go on. That's not the end of the chapter. There's only a couple more paragraphs, but I just like to salute you guys, okay? Because that's what we are. That's who we are. We are tough. We are resilient. So as we open up the floor here to get some questions answered, I want you guys to understand who you really are. Nothing is insurmountable. If your e-wallet isn't working, you're still struggling with your login, you got a little bit of a problem with your get response, well, that's part of what we do is deal with those issues. We're tough. All right. What you just experienced, and now let me get back to the beginning, to what I should have reminded you of 18 minutes ago. You are listening to Traffic Report. My name is Joe. I'm the guy who comes here every single day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, the goal of this Traffic Report, the goal here is to educate, inspire, motivate. So as we move forward, right, I'm looking in the rearview mirror and pre-launch is over and the launch is behind us, and now we're going to get into the reality of what we do. So when we come together every single morning, and we're going to answer your questions. We're always going to take questions. We're always going to get in a conversation with you guys. But we want to make sure that you understand who you are, what this is, and the most important thing is for you to simply take action. And that's what you're going to hear. Eventually, we're going to bring this format down to where it should be, which is 35, maybe 40 minutes. Inspiration, motivation, education. That's what this is about. Okay? The Q&As, we're handling them right now because we're so fresh and new. But so you understand moving forward what you're going to hear when you come here. So, it's going to be a place to come in and hang. It's like the virtual water cooler. We're going to talk about what's going on. We have events coming. Wait till we open up the floor here when we're going to an event or when we come home from one of our 2,000-3,000 seat events and we open it up. Wait, you want to hear people who are enthusiastic and motivated and fired up? Well, that's what this is really designed for, to educate, to motivate, to inspire. But now, since we're here in this, still coming through this pre-launch stuff, and we have so many questions, we're still going to be answering questions. I'm looking right now, there's probably 25 of you guys in the queue. So here is the drill. Here's the drill. If you're listening to the live stream right now, and it's live, like right now it's 8:20 in the morning on September 15th at Carefree, Arizona. If it's 11:20 in the morning on the East Coast on the 15th, that means you're listening live, okay, on our live stream. If you would like to ask a question or make a comment, all you have to do is pick up the telephone and dial our dial-in number. Okay, for those of you who have dialed in, you know this number. You already dialed it. But for those of you who are listening online, it's 914-338-0631. Now, if you're listening and it's the middle of the night, okay, maybe it's somewhere else in the world, maybe it's Australia, you're picking this up overnight. We're going to be live every morning, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's the number, 914-338-0631. So you can bring your complaints, bring your questions, bring your comments. I'm tough. I'm the guy that I was just talking about and rich people think. So you can beat me down, but you're not going to beat me up. So here's the drill, okay? I'm going to go down the list here. I'm going to say the last 4 digits of your telephone number. Okay, if you've dialed in, you have to press 1 to get into the queue. You press 1, and I'll take your question. And Greg is here with me. I'm going to introduce Greg in a moment. I think Doug is still working. Okay, so Doug is here as well. So here's the drill. You dial into the number. You press 1 on the keypad of your telephone. I get a little notification on my computer that you want to ask a question. I'm going to say the last 4 digits of your telephone number, and then I want you to come out and state your first name, the city, state, or country you're calling in from, and then what is your question or what is your comment. I'm going to respectfully ask that you guys do a couple of things. Watch all of the videos. If you come here with a question that is answered in the videos, the dancing bear becomes angry bear. Okay, the reason we have those videos is so everyone has a fair shot at success. Everybody has the same material. Everybody can get started 24/7. Regardless of who your sponsor is, you can have results. It's all done for you. So you have to watch the videos. And then bring a question after you watch the videos in your member back office. Okay? And because then it's fair for everybody. And so the other thing then is pay attention, listen closely, because chances are your question is going to be answered before I get to you, because that's just how there's something called frequently asked questions, and the reason that the questions are frequently asked is because they're frequently asked questions. Okay, and here we go, Greg, and suddenly, have you ever like been in the kitchen and you made some spaghetti sauce, and suddenly somebody sneaks up behind you and starts adding stuff, and you're like, what are you doing? Because I just got a message right now from Doug Wellens that he has seized control of my control panel, and he's unmuting people. Doug, Greg, come out here, man. What are you guys up to? What are you doing?
Joe, how are you, buddy?
I'm good.
You're awesome, man. And thank you, by the way, for allowing me to show up a little bit late here. I was actually on the phone with iPayout, taking care of some very critical business for everybody here, and it's getting better. It is getting better. That much I know. They didn't realize that we were going to be funding the account with such a large deposit, or they would have done something very special for us that they don't just do for, average, ordinary clients. So things are going to get a little better around here, and people will be able to hopefully fund themselves with a little bit more cashola on the spot than they have been able to do. So, yeah, it's all good. I'm doing good, man. You doing good?
I'm rolling here. I knew that you guys were running a little bit late this morning, and that gave me a little bit of room to just blabber on. So, yeah, I'm doing what I do, man. I'm rolling. How about you, Greg? What's up, dude?
Man, I'm just happy to be here, dude. I've made my second consecutive workout. I'm pretty darn happy about it. I am going for 90 straight workouts without a miss. So I put a big number. I put a big commitment out there. And it's going to go right along with, working and things we're going to be doing here. So, commitment is everything. And, again, as we've kind of gotten most of the things working here in the Traffic Authority back office, I can't wait really for this week, because tonight's going to be really talking about, training people actually, kind of getting past this development stage, really what to do, and, how do we start, bringing in members, and how do we start, learning how to send traffic. And this is a really important week for us in many, many ways. So, dude, it's all good.
Yes, and it's very important because I know Natalie, your wife, is arriving home today from an international journey that she has been on. So, yeah, it's a big day in your household. Did you guys know? I think you guys got here a little bit late. Greg, did you know that Google Google.com was registered 18 years ago today. Isn't it amazing what has happened in 18 years that Google actually dominates our life right now? Isn't it amazing? 18 years ago today, it was somebody registered it at GoDaddy. Isn't that crazy, man?
That is incredible. I did not know that.
Yes. Happy birthday to Google. See, this is why it's important to get here early. All right, here we go. We're getting into it. We're getting into the Q&A, and we're starting out with number one. All of you're calling in from Skype. Your phone number is all ones. There's 10 ones. So you are officially number one. Come on out here. What's your name, number one?
Hey, Joe. This is Frank Alio from beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And you told me I was number one last time as well.
Frank, how you doing today, number one?
Fantastic. Listen, Joe, I did read the FAQs, and I do have a real simple question. If I have my own websites, can I use the name Traffic Authority in my URL, such as Fearless Frank's TrafficAuthority.com or Traffic Authority of Myrtle Beach.com? Can I do something like that?
Mr. Doug Wellens, this is right on your wheelhouse, Doug. We're talking about compliance, and we're talking about our brand. Doug Wellens, would you please come out here and speak to Frank?
Hey, Frank, how are you?
Fantastic.
Good, man. Yeah, so I mean, listen, when it comes to compliance, we gotta really run down the line pretty hard, realizing this is the very early days, where do we have a real compliance department set up with an official compliance, czar heading up that group? No. We're all doing it ourselves, plus, we got the attorney. And we also have a really great legal page that we've created for everybody. And I encourage everybody to go there so you understand the terms and conditions, all the income disclaimers and documents that are back there at trafficauthority.net/legal. Frank, have you taken the time to review any of that information?
Unfortunately, I have not gone to that page.
Okay, because that's going to help you a great deal, as to the do's and don'ts, things that you can do in the marketing practices and things that you can't do in the marketing practices. And forgive me, if you just drill down for me one last time the specifics by which you're looking to get approval here.
I can restate the question easily. What Frank is looking for, Doug, is he's wondering if he could use the brand Traffic Authority in his unique URLs, like I am Frank, your Traffic Authority guy in MyrtleBeach.com, something like that.
No. We own that Traffic Authority name, so no. And we've even said that in those guidelines that you cannot use Traffic Authority in your domain.
I should have read those guidelines.
Yeah,
and thank you very much. Yeah. But Frank, you know what? You're such a charismatic guy. I know that you'll come up with something really, really cool. Like I just got the URL yesterday. The URL it's Joe's TrafficSolution.com. That's one of my URLs. It's right now. It's just sitting on GoDaddy. But so I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I get in here that's going to really work? So I'm like, I know. I'm Joe's Traffic Solution. I'm also here's another one I got that's me. Okay, I'm not using it, but I go through. I start thinking, and I buy these like for $3-4. And I would say also, you guys, recently I've been buying my domains from Google. It's way easier than GoDaddy. I get them for like $12. How about this? EliteTrafficBrokers.com. That's me. All right, let's keep it moving. So I think you got your question answered there, Frank. You are a clever guy. I know you'll come up with something that's very, very cool. 5649, you are next up in the queue.
Good morning, Joe. It's Bert from Canyon Lake, California.
Bert, can you believe that Frank beat you to it this morning?
Yes, I've been beaten many times. But,
I know, but you've been first in the queue for weeks. And Frank got up a little earlier than you today. How you doing today, Bert?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm glad Frank beat me because I'll tell you, you just pulled the tears out of my eyes. And you're blabbering is, to me, it gets to me more than many quotations, many speakers have ever done.
Thank you.
You guys are just amazing. I don't think we all in the traffic ninjas, the Jedi ninjas, we all don't realize how special this morning, every Monday through Friday, how special our community is in the Facebook mastermind, in the Facebook group. We are really special. At 18 years from now, it'll be 2033. 2033. And how are people going to blab about us? Remember back when TA was we just got started? Well, today is the 18th birthday of Traffic Authority. Oh my gosh, it's going to be incredible. But thank you, Joe. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Adam, and the dev team. You guys are just amazing. You have shown us the vision. You have shown us consistency and persistency. And we really owe you guys a lot. We really do. And as far as entrepreneurs, yes, we are tough because we've been able to get through the tough times. All the people who have been waiting, and even the people who've been complaining about nitpicking and the trivial stuff, now we all realize, oh my gosh, we're a part of something great. I'm sure people who were in Google back 18 years ago, it was just a newsletter, I believe, when they got started. And I don't think they really knew how special it was going to be. And I feel the same way about Traffic Authority. So I'm going to get off and stop blabbing and let other people get on. But we really, really appreciate you guys. And just your voice, Joe, has become addicting. And that's one of the reasons why I'm on every morning.
Well, it's a community, Bert. And thank you very much. God bless you. And it is a community, and you represent that community. And one of the things that we are dedicated here to here is, and it's a word that you used, consistency, right? It is a mysterious place, the internet. How about it, right? It is a mysterious place. And, so many people are doing business on the internet and competing for business on the internet, and there are so many deals. And I told you guys about a conversation I had with a woman last week. I talked a bit about this on Saturday, that on Friday, I ran some traffic on Friday, and I received an email from a woman who was she was rough. It wasn't a real friendly email, and she was like, who are you guys? And I'm sick of these videos, and I'm sick and tired, and all I see is this stuff. And she went on, and so I picked up the telephone and called her, and I caught her off guard. I think I knocked her on her duff. I was like, whoa, some dude is calling me from the internet. And so we know that people are really, the human touch. Some of these guys who are effective at webinars, the reason they do so well with webinars is because they're so authentic, and that's what people are really looking for. And Bert, you're keeping it authentic for us, so thank you very much. 9201, you're next up.
Good morning, Joe. This is Kara in Austin, Texas.
Kara, how are you today?
I'm great. Doing really great. I've got a few bucks in my pocket and a dream in my heart.
There it is, man. You're the person that Steve Siebold is talking about and how rich people think. Hey, listen, I want to thank you. You are really showing up on the Facebook page and helping people and answering questions, and you're really, really doing a great job. We appreciate your contributions, and you're doing it in such an elegant way. I sometimes I can be a bully on there, right? Like yesterday, a guy was on the Facebook page. This guy was on the Facebook page, and he was using profanity, and these guys are liars, and so I got the guy offline, right? I said, hey, man, send me a direct message. Let's talk. So he sends me a direct message. It turns out he's trying to log in, and he's not even a member. He came in through the free members back in the pre-launch days, and now he never pulled out a credit card. He never spent $1. And he's like, oh, these guys are liars. So I got on there, I got into the ring with that guy. But you're doing such an elegant job, Kara. How's it going out there today?
Oh, it's going great. And it's my pleasure because it's really part of my purpose and my why with helping other people achieve their dreams. It doesn't matter if they're on my team or not. I just want to help people out. So I have no problem with that at all. And I've got people helping me too. So I'm just paying it forward.
Awesome.
And I think it's really cool to be able to go into the testimonial thread and, traffic has been running and people are having really great opt-in results. Mm-hmm. I'm receiving messages from my team members that they're having great results as well. Mine personally is not running yet, so I'm being very patient and waiting for that to happen. And in the meantime, just, watching other people and seeing the success that they're having. So that's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a couple of questions one on behalf of myself and one on behalf of one of my team members.
Okay.
So I had a team member ask me about the pending link review. If that is going to be something that is going to happen every single time, we're going to have to wait for that pending link review every time we purchase traffic and set it up. They wanted to know if we're going to have to wait.
All right, I'll get your second question out, and then I'm going to bring Greg out here because this is his wheelhouse. So what is you had one more question, Kara?
Yes. The second question is for myself. I went in and I set up, my traffic to run, and whenever I first set it up, there was an option there for me to pause it or not, and so I chose not to pause it. However, with some advice from my upline, I wanted to go in and repause it, but I don't see the pause button there anymore. Is that something that disappears after you've set the link and then it waits until it goes live before you can pause it again?
Well, let's get Mr. Greg Chambers out here. Greg, you got those questions answered?
Well, I certainly have the first one. That's really simple. The first one, basically, as far as the link review every time, the answer is yes. But the good news is, as we're running a co-op and we're not, actually having a 3 to 4 week build-up, the ability to review and start those orders will literally be, a few hours during the business day. So it'll be very, very rapid. So you really will not notice that. But I'm here to tell you guys, everyone, again, just having done this for a long time, if there was no link review, about 10% of the time, unfortunately, either you or someone on your team will be putting in the wrong URL. And, basically once we start that traffic, if someone's not paying attention, 3, 4, 5, 6 days can pass, half the campaign can be over, and that traffic could go to an absolute dead link. And, the reason we instituted the link review was not by accident. It was due to the fact that, people were losing clicks. So it's really for that reason. So that's never going to change. We're always going to protect you guys to make sure that the link is actually valid. We test every single link to make sure it's going to the page you want it to go to. So, Joe, did I answer the questions?
The other question was, Kara said that when she went in originally to set up her traffic, she selected pause, okay? And then, or it was vice versa. I don't know if she selected. Kara, restate your question, right? You selected pause, and then you went back in, and the pause button is missing. Is that what happened?
Well, I selected to unpause it at first, and then I went back in to check it today because I was going to put it back on pause at the advice of my upline because we're doing some different kinds of campaigns. And so I went in to just go ahead and repause it, but that button wasn't there anymore.
Pause button disappeared. Mr. Chambers, you know anything about that?
I am unfamiliar with that you guys. So as far as I know, I mean, if that has temporarily disappeared, it will certainly be back. Of course, that's in your traffic area, in your traffic store, active orders, and you click the little edit button under manage. It opens up that box where you see really 3 questions and 4 dialog boxes. That if that pause is temporarily gone, it will certainly be back. In fact, and Joe, I just want to announce something. As we were starting orders initially, basically I was removing the admin pause part that that only the corporate side of Traffic Authority controls, and we were actually starting orders. Going forward, as of today, we'll be removing the admin pause, and whether it's set to pause, by the customer or not, we're going to actually set it to be paused, which means going forward, every single person will have to start their traffic. Just the pending review, the pending link review will be removed. So it's a big change. I mean, and just to let you know, again, from CPC Broker, and ILS standards, I mean, when people order traffic, they wanted traffic to run, and typically this, when they ordered traffic, within 1 to 2 hours, sometimes faster, they had traffic running. So there was no real need to set it to pause. Here, because there's a delay, we had some people contact support to say, well, I'm glad that the pending link review is removed, but I really didn't want traffic running quite yet. So, the good news is, you guys, I mean, you can log into your account if you got traffic running. I mean, you can pause and unpause that thing typically just in a matter of seconds. So, Kara, I'll definitely check out. I'll private message you on Facebook after this and let you know exactly what's happened with that. It will be back if it's gone. And your traffic also will be running today for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much once again for everything that you're doing for all of us.
You're welcome, Kara. Thank you very much for the work you're doing for us. Thank you. You're awesome. We'll keep it moving. 5232, you are next up in the queue. 5232, you're next.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. Hello, Joe, Doug, and Greg, and to all the leaders and everyone on the call. This is Holly Folks calling from Los Angeles. How is everyone?
We're doing good, Holly. I recognize your voice. How's it going today? How are you?
Well, thank you. I'm well, thank you. I just have a quick question. This is different from yesterday's. Okay, so I found out what the crux of my issue was, and I was inboxing Greg on Facebook. So my issue with Get Response was that I wasn't sure whether I was connected to iPass 2, which was just prior to joining Traffic Authority because I canceled with them, or if I was with you all. So I was able to get through to someone this morning, and long story made short, I'm still with Get Response even though I canceled. So any, commissions, would roll over to Henry, who was with iPass 2. So I'm trying to figure out how to get around that. I told the gentleman I'd call him back after we got off the call because I'm actually off today, so I have a little more time. But I want to make sure that everything that I'm doing is not affiliated whatsoever with iPass 2.
All right, this sounds like a very
this
is a very, very specific niche for you, Holly. And Greg, you're the Get Response guy
I'm going to
here.
just answer it if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
The bottom line is what I'm going to say as far as this goes. Again, it really, the whole point of creating one's own personal autoresponder is not to, collect an affiliate commission. Here, we're trying to create, the ability for people to manage their lists. And so all I'm going to say is we don't really care whether you have an account from before or after. As long as you have a Get Response account, you will be able to put our campaigns on your account. And, of course, you'll also be able to broadcast your other existing, lists, which they call campaigns. You'll be able to direct those leads you generated in the past towards your Traffic Authority marketing funnels or any other business marketing funnels you want to. So, again, as far as that goes, like you said, Joe, that's really up to the individual people. What we're really here to do is help people get their Traffic Authority campaigns connected from their Traffic Authority back office, to their Get Response accounts. And whether they're new or old makes no difference to us. They will work exactly the same.
Thank you very much, Holly. We appreciate your question, and let's keep it moving. Thank you, Holly. We'll keep it moving to 3365. You're next up in the queue, 3365.
Hello, this is Mary Ellen Johnson from Connecticut.
Hey, Mary Ellen, how are you?
Well, I got cut off from you yesterday. I'm a school nurse, and if I don't lean against the window, my phone doesn't work. So I must have tipped to my head yesterday. So
no problem.
I really have more statement to tell you. I wanted to let you know that I've realized on the rich poor statement. The rich poor funnel in the button. There's a statement that says, "Oops, wrong. It seems you put in the wrong email or something." Every time I've posted it, I do a lot of posting in Facebook. Mm-hmm. And if I use the other one, that statement doesn't come in on the button area, like the submit button area of the capture page. And I just wanted you to be aware, when I do it in Facebook and I put up the rich poor one, that little statement is in that area of the button. Not sure why. It still functions, but that's what it states when I put it in Facebook.
All right, Mary Ellen. Greg, I don't even know what to say, honestly. Greg, could you make a comment on Mary Ellen Johnson's issue with the rich poor, the sales funnel, rich poor with a button?
Yeah, again, as far as that goes, Mary Ellen, again, I guess the easiest way to put this is that, you find your marketing, you find those links in your marketing links area, and, basically and Joe, I don't know another way to say this than just, as plainly as possible. Some of this stuff has to simply be, you got to test it yourself, before you send traffic to it, so that way you see how things operate. I do realize that when people are clicking on like the different pieces, like the sales page, the bridge page, and the other pages, that it actually plays the same video only because there is a sequence to it. You will be able to see it if you watch it long enough. I don't know. Does that make any sense, Joe?
Yeah, I don't know, Mary Ellen. Does that make sense to you? Because I'm not really understanding what.
Well, it's really not a complaint. It was just an FYI to you all. It seems like it would be a write-up issue. That's all. Not a big deal. Like I said, the site still works. It all works wonderfully. I checked that out. It works fine. It's just odd that it makes that statement on that one and not the others. That's all.
On the actual button itself.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's all. It's just more of an FYI to you all. I'm not sure if that's a program issue.
Thank you very much, Mary Ellen. We'll certainly send that off to some. There's got to be some brainiac somewhere in our organization who monitors that
stuff.
Me. Not me either. Thank you very much for the call. Thank you, Mary Ellen.
Listen, also for the button for the pause, it worked for me just the other day. It is in that little teeny button on the side that says to adjust or what have you on the right-hand side. And if you push that, that's when it comes up and you can re-pause your traffic. At least it did for me.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you very much, Mary Ellen. We appreciate that.
And here's my last thing I wanted to say also is, for you, Joe, what would be your go-to statement for someone who says that there's other traffic platforms out there? What makes this one outshine the others? I know what I'm saying. I'd like to hear what you say.
Okay, what I would say is, yeah, that's great. That's probably true. I would also say that Traffic Authority, however, is way more than just traffic. Traffic Authority is a community of people who truly care, and Traffic Authority is also it is educational, and it's ongoing. So it's not just static traffic. Okay, the thing that makes Traffic Authority different is that we are a community of people, and the founders are accessible. It's not just traffic; it is community. Okay, it's Traffic Authority, and it has a team of professionals who are some of the best in the industry who are aware of what's going on out there in the industry, and it's something that's very, very unique. So that's what I would say to people. Yeah,
I mentioned the people involved as well.
And that's the truth, right? I mean, you're what makes Traffic Authority different, Mary Ellen. That you'll be able to come here and you find a little thing that's going on, and you're able to help Kara, reminding her of where she should find a button on her page. And this is like an interactive community. It's not one of the we get this comment all the time. That the fact that the transparency that people find here is very, very refreshing, and so that's what makes us different.
And again, also, the pause on the traffic, I'm telling you, you're going to really appreciate that. It has happened to me where you buy traffic and you had no idea that your button didn't work. And so I appreciate that pause, and I appreciate that it's going to be a shorter pause coming up.
Yep. Well, thank you very much, Mary Ellen, for your comments. And you are what makes Traffic Authority different from any other platform out there. And, you know, in the past, and thank you, Mary Ellen, I'm going to put you on mute here. In the past, I have actually bought traffic myself in the past, not knowing what I was doing. And, you know, it's like suddenly I look and it's like I've drained all this money out of my account, and I've had all this traffic running, and the link didn't work, or the traffic was just robot, just totally bogus traffic. I mean, so, you know, that's all I can say about that. 2959, you're next up in the queue.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Carlos Rodriguez from New York City.
Carlos, how are you today? How's it going on, man?
I'm good. Traffic is rolling. People are responding to the emails off of the GetResponse autoresponder. They answering the questions of how much money they would like to make, and a lot of people putting $5,000-$10,000, answering the question why they want to be in business. And you know, I'm getting back to them, and I'm getting personal with them little by little, and hopefully the GetResponse does its job, and I'm doing my job, and it's so amazing. In 2 days, I've gotten over 150 leads, and I'm contacting them one by one, and then I let the autoresponder do what it does. And I also wanted to comment something on the Facebook page. Yesterday, I always stay all the way to the end. I did exactly what you advised us to do. I'm being successful and with Traffic Authority, and then somebody at the bottom says somebody's lying, and I took that a little bit kind of weird, and I'm asking who's lying, you know. And I seen that you went over there and asked them, you know, direct message them.
That's the dude, man. That was the guy.
It just got me a little pissed off because there's nobody lying here, you know.
No.
And I'm living proof of it, you know.
I know. Some people just like to rain on the parade, you know. That's all there is to it. And thank you, Carlos. Thank you for responding to that guy the way that you did, very elegantly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And one last thing, I was trying to do the rotator. It's not working for me at the moment, but it is what it is. I paused my traffic, did something else, and sent it to the other page that I wanted to do, and it's getting a lot more results than one of the other capture pages. But I'm here all day, every day, listening.
Carlos, what is your favorite capture page? Which one? Where are you getting your greatest results? You personally?
Me personally, right now, the rich and poor, the second one.
The rich and poor second one.
Poor yes.
Awesome. Whatever works for you.
Coming in good. Yeah.
And you know what? Another thing you said, and I'm gonna put you back on mute here. I just want to say quickly that, you know, the fact that you're reaching out and just making brief contact. Okay, the autoresponders do the work. People are, you know, we stay in touch with them with the autoresponders, but because you're reaching out and talking to people, even ever so briefly, it makes all the difference in the world at the end of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be calling your people if you have a lead that shows up. And I'm getting a lot of email myself the last couple of days from people who want to make money and they want to talk to me about what the opportunities really exist here. So that phone call is really, really important. And in the future, we'll be doing some training for people who have that phone reluctance. You know, sometimes for me, you know, the phone is like a 50-pound sledgehammer, man. It's like, oh, I got to pick up the phone. We'll go into some training in the future to really, how do you have a very simple, brief, authentic conversation with the person who answers. But let's keep it moving right now. 6392, you're next up.
Good morning, Mickey.
Good morning, Mallory. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent. What's happening? How are you today, Mallory?
I'm doing very good. It's wet and cold here today.
Is it? It's finally getting beautiful here. Go ahead. What's your question?
Oh, well, that's good. You're in Phoenix, so of course it's beautiful out there.
This is true.
My question, Kara asked me a question. It's about my traffic. I was trying to listen to what I think it was Mary Ellen when she answered, like said where we could go and find it. Because when I go to manage my traffic and I tried to pause mine, yesterday when I was pausing it, I click on it where it says, do you want to pause your traffic, yes or no? So I click yes to pause it, and then I would save everything that I did there, and then I'd go back to it to check it, and then it would already go back to no again. But then today, that part that would ask me if I wanted to pause it, yes or no, that's not even there. So I think that this question was already answered, but unfortunately I missed that part, what they had said, because I was trying to go into the manage button to see if I could change it. But all I have is on my...
Let me bring Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen, if you're still there, you said that, is there like a secret way to find the pause button? Mary Ellen?
I think you said Mary Ellen, but you probably meant Greg, I hope.
Okay, come on out here, Greg. Yes, I meant Greg. Sorry, Mary Ellen.
Basically, all that I will say is that, up until it was mentioned earlier today, I actually, had not heard that. But I'm just saying, as an example, I'm actually clicking on an order right now, and I'm in basically a back office, and I went to the traffic store, which is a little cart, second icon from the left. I clicked on open orders, and then basically, under manage, I clicked the little edit pencil, and those exact same boxes that have always been there are there for the account I'm looking at anyway, which said, and there were 3 questions. The first one is, would you like to pause your traffic? And there's a drop-down box that says yes or no. If it's on no, and basically someone from Corporate Traffic Authority, if we've lifted the pending review, if it's on no, your traffic is going to be running. If you want to stop your traffic from running, you would change that to yes, and then you'd simply click update order. And again, up till today, Joe, I had not heard from anyone that's not working. I can just tell you from looking in my admin, there are a ton of paused orders. So it would seem to me that it's working. But, again, this is the second person who's actually said the pause button is not even there. So I just want to make sure every single person is in that edit area, because again, I just went there, and it's here now. Marion, can you pull it up right now while you're on the phone and just actually see? Give us a
I did.
report.
Hey, Greg, why don't we do this, man? Why don't we get a screenshot of an account, a back office like Marion, that doesn't have that button visible? And let's just get that to the dev department. That would be the fastest way to...
I think, Doug, what I was trying to do is I was trying to confirm, Doug, people are in the right area. I believe they're not. The likelihood
Greg, because I had it yesterday. Yesterday it had everything on there. Everything was on there where it said that I could either pause my traffic, yes or no. But now that's not even there at all today. And that was last night when I was working on this.
So, Marion, tell me right now, tell me when you're in that section, what's the very top of that page say? When you open that little edit button, what's that?
Yeah, okay, I'm going I'm going to close everything right there. So I'm in active orders. It says pending link review, then what my fundeds are, and then I go to the little manage button with the little pencil. Click on that. Then it comes up and it says manage traffic. Set a daily spending cap, $50 is what I have it at. Where do we send your traffic?
Okay, that is the exact screen. So, like Doug said, we need to see. Yeah, please take a screen copy of that. And actually, I'm going to ask you to email that directly to me, Greg@trafficauthority.net.
Okay, I'll take a picture with my phone. What's your email?
Again, that's incredible that there's actually that you're seeing something different than I am. That's just incredible to me.
Yeah. So what is your email, Greg?
It's Greg@trafficauthority.net. You'll be the first person ever to email me there. It's a brand new email address.
All right. So you want me to take a picture of what I'm seeing right now and then email
please take a screenshot of that, because we want to see it, and then basically we're going to compare it to and of course in that email just also include your username so they can quickly look at that. So again, that's just so strange, but nonetheless, again, this is why this call is so critically important. It really shows us exactly what's happening in real time. I'm in another customer's account who I just started their order, and it's actually there, so it's just shocking to me.
Yeah, it was there last night, and then I went to go check it today because, like I said, when I was trying to pause it it kept going back to saying, no, I wanted to start my traffic. but I was trying to actually pause my traffic, and it kept going back to saying, no, I wanted to start it. So I let Vince know, and he said that he was going to mention something. And then all of a sudden today I go back, and this is where it's not even there at all.
All right, Mallory, thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. You're the second person who brought it up this morning. I really appreciate you, Mallory. Thank you very much. I love you, Mallory. I love you.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys. Love you too. Bye.
See you later. All right, we're going to keep it moving here. 6778. You are next up in the queue. Hold on here. What's going on here? Can you hear me, 6778? Hold on. All of a sudden, I'm getting I wonder if it's my system is getting frozen up here. Hold on.
Lucky thing, Doug's there to unmute people for you.
Yeah, Doug, are you paying attention? Because right now I got something going on here. Doug, are you there?
Hope it's okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm over here with Tara. She is so fast and efficient, it's not even funny. Sending me a very quick little screenshot. So I was I'm multitasking between eating the brand new popcorn kettle chips and taking care of Kara and the dog and everything else around here. Yeah.
Could you step in here? 6778 is the next person up, and I can't bring anybody or put anybody off mute. I'm going to have to. I got it. Could you take over for me for a minute? I'll be right back.
Yep, man. Here we go.
Here we go. 6778. You're next up.
I got a problem too, bud.
Maybe it's the Blog Talk Radio platform, huh?
Yeah, man. Hold on. I'm gonna do some. Ooh, that's even worse.
Right, I just got connection reset.
I got booted out, man. Oh no. Oh no. What do you think then? Folks, we're just doing a little housekeeping behind the scenes here, real quickly. Sorry about the inconvenience.
Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. We just got something is going on with the Blog Talk Radio platform. I'm online right now with their support desk to see what we can do here. Problem loading page. There she is. Hold on. The support desk lady just showed up here. What exactly happened? Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I have a co-host. Still trying to bring this back up. Doug, are you seeing anything? Are you able to see anything at all?
No, I am not, actually. It's just spinning away, man. I cannot get to the platform at all. I can get to the system, but it's not letting me log in or I'm sorry, I'm in. Oops. Okay. Our engineers have been notified. You got a little problem over here. That's what I got.
Yep, I got the same thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, it's 12:04. We've been here, an hour. And occasionally, sometimes, very infrequently, these types of things do happen. Right, Jeff?
That's correct. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is I'm online right now with the support desk at Blog Talk Radio, and we will be right back to you guys, or else maybe we can just reconvene tomorrow. We'll be on a webinar tonight, and what we can do tonight is, we'll do our best. As a matter of fact, we'll be in Facebook, and we can get some questions answered for you guys. Hopefully there. But there's not much we can do right now. Hold on.
Love you guys.
We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow for sure. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Hey, Bill will actually be back tonight.
Hey, can you guys hear me? If anybody's there, I am back. I was able to bring the system back up.